Hello and welcome to our series, Learning English for Beginners. This is episode 1, Common Problems for Beginners. Today, we're going to talk about some of the most common challenges that new English learners face and, more importantly, how you can overcome them. If you're just starting your English journey, you might recognize some of these problems. But don't worry, every learner faces these challenges at first, and there are practical ways to solve them. Let's get started. Problem 1. The fear of making mistakes. Let's talk about the first problem, the fear of making mistakes. This is very common for beginners. Many learners are afraid to speak because they worry about saying something wrong. You might think, what if I use the wrong word? Or what if my pronunciation is bad? This fear can stop you from practicing, which slows down your progress. But here's the truth, making mistakes is a natural part of learning. No one learns a language perfectly from day one. Think about when you learned your first language as a child. Did you always speak correctly? Of course not. You learn by trying, making mistakes, and trying again. It's the same with English. So, instead of worrying, focus on communicating. The more you practice, the more confident you'll become, and your English will improve step by step. Here's a tip. Whenever you make a mistake, don't feel embarrassed. Instead, see it as a chance to learn something new. Try to notice your mistakes and correct them next time, but don't let them stop you from speaking or writing. Remember, every mistake brings you closer to fluency. Problem 2. Limited vocabulary. Now, let's move on to the second problem, limited vocabulary. Many beginners feel stuck because they only know a few words. When you want to express yourself but can't find the right words, it can be frustrating. Maybe you often say, how do I say this in English? Or I don't know the word for that. Don't worry, this is completely normal for beginners. How can you grow your vocabulary? Start by focusing on the most common and useful words in daily life. You don't need to learn thousands of words all at once. Pick a few new words every day, maybe 5 to 10, and try to use them in sentences. You can make flashcards or use mobile apps to help you remember. It also helps to read simple English books, watch beginner videos, or listen to easy stories. When you see or hear a new word, write it down and practice it. Over time, your vocabulary will grow naturally. Here's a fun practice. Choose a theme for each week. For example, this week can be food. Learn words like bread, rice, soup, and fruit. Next week, try school. Learn words like classroom, teacher, homework, and test. Using themes makes vocabulary learning more interesting and helps you remember better. Problem 3. Confusing grammar rules. Let's talk about grammar. For many beginners, English grammar can be confusing. There are tenses, articles, prepositions, and sentence order to think about. You might ask, do I say I go to school or I am go to school? Grammar mistakes are very common when starting out. Don't feel bad if you make mistakes, everyone does it first. Instead of memorizing every grammar rule, focus on learning basic sentence patterns. For example, practice simple present tense, I eat breakfast every morning. Or present continuous, I am eating breakfast now. Notice how the verb changes depending on the time. When you read or listen to English, pay attention to these patterns and try to copy them. The more examples you see, the more natural grammar will become. If you get confused, don't be afraid to ask questions or look up explanations. There are many good grammar books and websites for beginners. But remember, understanding grammar is important, but don't let it stop you from communicating. Use simple sentences if you are not sure. With practice, grammar will start to make sense. Problem 4. Difficulty understanding spoken English. Another common challenge is listening to native speakers. Many beginners say, I can't understand English when people speak fast or they use words I don't know. This is completely normal, especially in the beginning. What can you do? Start with slow and clear English. Use materials made for beginners like easy listening exercises, podcasts, or children's stories. Repeat them several times until you understand most of the words. You can also turn on subtitles if you watch videos or read along with a transcript. Don't try to catch every word at first, focus on the main ideas. Little by little, your listening skills will improve. If you can, try to listen to English a little bit every day. Even 5 or 10 minutes helps. Soon, you'll find that you can understand more and more. Don't get discouraged if you miss something, just keep going. Problem 5. Lack of confidence and practice. The last problem we'll talk about is lack of confidence and practice. Some beginners feel shy, embarrassed, or nervous about speaking English. Maybe you're worried about your accent or making mistakes. Sometimes you might avoid speaking altogether. But confidence is something you can build, just like any other skill. Here's how. Practice speaking out loud every day, even if it's just to yourself. Read sentences from your textbook, repeat after videos, or try to describe what you're doing in English. If you can, find a language partner, join a class, or use language exchange apps to talk with other learners. The more you practice, the less nervous you will feel. Remember, most people are friendly and will appreciate your effort to communicate. Also, don't compare yourself to others. Everyone learns at their own speed. Celebrate your small successes. Maybe today you learned a new word or understood a short video. Each step is progress. Review and encouragement. Let's quickly review the 5 common problems for English beginners. Fear of making mistakes. Limited vocabulary. Confusing grammar rules. Difficulty understanding spoken English. Lack of confidence and practice. If you recognize yourself in any of these, you're not alone. Every language learner faces these challenges. The most important thing is to keep practicing and never give up. Remember, mistakes are normal. Vocabulary can be learned step by step. Grammar gets easier with use. Listening improves over time, and confidence comes with practice. Believe in yourself. You are making progress every day. Thank you for joining me in this lesson. Keep practicing and don't be afraid to make mistakes. You can do it. See you in the next episode of Learning English for Beginners. Goodbye.